And Quinn says, was a direct energy weapon used on me? And the doctor looks at him like, are you fucking kidding me? You know,
dude, I saw that. That was hilarious.
Now, look, so what we're dealing with, in my opinion, is a dude who is either putting on a really big act. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way around it. Any person, like, this isn't something that even, you know, the most crazy person wouldn't agree with. This is just factual. He's either putting on an act or he literally is losing it and has episodes of crazy. So, like, if it is... do we have, like, anything that tells us that he's putting on an act? Is there any information? Because if he is mentally sick, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
initially when I encountered Quinn Michaels, he came into my chat and was, like, asking for help. So I went to a Discord originally and, like, tried to help him. And he was just spinning some yarn about his kid, posted some video of him and his kid that he used to have it on his YouTube channel. I still have a copy of the video, by the way.
Did he have his kid on his YouTube channel?
Yeah, it was like kind of like all psychedelic out, but it was like asking his kids questions about some sort of like syndicate or covenant.
That's really bad, dude. Why would you do that to your kid? Thanks, Dave.
Like it was so coerced. Like, literally, it was so coerced through this whole entire situation that it just doesn't make any sense that folks are taking it any seriously. And it obviously sounded like his kid was like coached through this whole entire thing, but he did this whole thing with this kid, was saying that his ex-wife was part of like some satanic
I remember that.
And yet when we go and find the actual information, a lot of it's not true. And then we find out that this guy hasn't paid child support, he hasn't done anything, and he's like living in his car and doing all this stuff so that he can get out of doing all of that. Well, and it seems that he admitted that he sought out Jason Goodman. He admitted on like past live video streams that have been captured. We have seen, like, I've seen it, and a bunch of other people in, you know, my squad have seen it, like, where he goes out and he'll like say things, like really ridiculous things, and then he'll like never walk them back. He'll just kind of like delete the video and just have it be like, oh, well, if anybody asks any questions, it's about the deep state or something. Something's going on with the deep state.
Yeah. And that's the thing that bothers me, because there are people out there really trying to just sit down, figure out what's going on with the bigger situations, and it seems like all the YouTube drama distracts not only the creators but the audience. And there is valid criticism. There is a thing out there that has to happen, which is valid criticism. But if we're dealing with someone who's literally out of his mind, it's like you can't criticize that, because it'll always be, just, out of touch with reality. So what I'm trying to say is, like, I've tried my best to ignore. Now, when I did ignore it, that's when I got the clip where he's telling his whole audience to donate everything to him. So it's like I felt morally obligated to do a video, like, trying to tell people, do not send this guy everything you own, and don't get yourself like kicked out of your house and shit because you didn't pay rent. Like, slow down your roll and think about it. I don't know if it's like a bait and switch tactic. Like, we want UNIRach to talk about it, so he won't talk about it when we attack this guy. And I'm not talking about Goodman right now. We're talking about Quinn Michaels. We'll talk about Goodman next, okay? It's like a bait and switch. I was talking to the audience, because I know some people are listening like, he's attacking Goodman. I'm not attacking Goodman. I don't want to attack anybody. I just want to figure everything out. I want to figure out who are the people on YouTube that are provoking these, truther channels to not criticize actual points, but to instead fight with drama and soap opera tactics to distract the audience. And I want to end that by exposing the people that do it and then ignoring them, But see, here's the thing. I had this thing in my head I wanted to ask you, because you know a lot about this computers and code and stuff like that. So listen, I think, because when I see a lot of people, and I'm sorry, I didn't even tell the audience, I am really sick right now. I'm losing my voice. I have an upper respiratory infection. My nose is leaking, so I'm sorry.
UNIRach, you sound like shit, bro.
I do, dude. I do. It's horrible. I slept so much last night. I was miserable. Okay. One thing I noticed is we see these clips like, Michael saying, sell everything you own and give me all the money because of Indra, because Indra's a new religion and blah, blah, blah. then we go to the comment section and we see the way people respond, and they're like, okay, I will. And, you know, like, oh yeah, I know that people were like flipping out and sending him stuff. And whether that's true or not, because a lot of people troll in the comments, and every comment, every, you know, anonymous thing out there has to be taken with a grain of salt. That's why we always say that about anonymous posters. But, you know, is it possible that because of Quinn's knowledge of bots and AI that he could be mass commenting the Time Phone Hack stuff? And does he really have a following, or are these bots that he's employing? What do you think's going on there?
I was very unsneakily a sponsor of Quinn Michaels' Patreon for a couple months. So, I mean, to me, what's been happening is that Jason Goodman started promoting Quinn. Quinn got a Patreon, started getting a big following. He does most of his stuff, his planning inside the Patreon with his subscribers and things. And
dude.
It seems that what he's been doing, because I saw a bunch of posts where he'd be like, okay, today this is what we're going to do. And he's basically driving these people where he's, quote unquote, teaching them about AI, but he's really just showing them how to use basic online bots to do things. And then he's having actual subscribers that are paying him money. These people pay him money to learn about how to do these things. And they're basically working for him, yeah. So, like, on top of them working for him, they're paying him money, they're working for him for free. And what happens is they think that they're gaining some sort of knowledge of that he knows, but really he's just kind of like repurposing stuff that he's finding on the internet and sending it out to people. And I think that the biggest problem with it is that, or what he doesn't get is that, like, his style, his bots and stuff are like 1994, you know, like he hasn't really brought any new technology to the table that hasn't been seen before 2009. And it's just kind of really, really sad to see him, you know, like utilizing all these different chat bots and things where he's collecting, you know, almost thousands of dollars on Patreon every month to quote unquote this Indra AI system, but like nobody's actually ever seen anything that he's delivered. And, you know, at the other thing is just like, he's still got things that he's supposed to be doing with his family, you know, requirements that he has to the courts and things of that nature that apparently he just hasn't been fulfilling. And I just find it to be very strange that him and Goodman always come back to this tactic when the views are down, you know, like, oh, the views are down, Defango's getting views, we're going to go do a hit piece on Defango because he sucks.
Gotcha.
And, you know, Jason Goodman has zero evidence for anything. He has not shown any evidence.
That I know, and that's the thing. Like, so when I watched the video, I said to myself, well, I want to understand what the claim is. Like, this is what I do with everything, bro. I'm not just bullshitting. I tried to understand the claim, tried to see what was provable, what was circumstantial, what was fake about it. And it was almost like very quickly watching it, I identified it as like, now what I could see in my head was that this was Quinn Michaels just approaching Jason Goodman and showing Jason this stuff. Now, what I asked myself is, why did Goodman, and look, and I'm saying this, and I want everyone to understand me, that's why I'm explaining myself, because I know we got viewers on both channels. Why did Goodman then take the clip to his channel? Because if I would have been live, and let's say you, Nathan, or even Quinn, if I talked to Quinn, and we were live, and he had told me that big thing, and it was only basically like a revenge piece, which is so obvious that it is, and it's more of like just a focus to try to make you look bad and convince an audience of what he thinks is going on instead of actually proving what he's saying is going on. You know, why would that clip wind up on the channel because what I'm trying to do, just so you all know, is understand and try to give Goodman a chance in my head, because I want us all, I'd love to have this dream of all these truther channels and all the channels willing to report things as they are, working together and standing up and being like, you know, no more bullshit from people that are willing to tell the truth, that aren't trying to propagate their audience. So when I see these kind of like things happen, I'm constantly asking myself, is it a propaganda hit piece against Defango for whatever reason? I don't know why, but whatever reason, because you haven't mentioned them in a long time. Or is this, you know, Quinn fooling Goodman into putting the clip up? Or is it that Goodman is just trying to make you look bad? I'm trying to figure it out because I know the audience is too. So what's your opinion?
I mean, my opinion is like, I don't, he didn't upload it to his main channel. He put it on his secondary channel. So obviously he's not like willing to put it out to the masses in that particular way. But I guess, I mean, I think that there was possibly been updates going on in this lawsuit with Robert David Steele. But I just gotta don't know.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
What does that say?
What'd they say? What'd they say?
Thank you, bro. Let me read it. Dave Acton. Oh, geez, Dave Acton just donated $2 to the chat. That's George Webb's brother.
Oh, hell yeah.
Thanks, Dave Acton, for the $2. He didn't say anything. He just donated $2.
Oh, gotcha.
He just wanted to let me know that he's here, and I'm just gonna be like, I guess Dave Acton would know kind of how like these situations have gone on in the past, and it's just been weird. They don't. I don't know why Quinn Michaels doesn't like me. I've tried to apologize to him. I've offered, to like sit down and talk with him, have a meal. I've even offered the same thing to Jason Goodman. I mean, I could have just live streamed him without his permission and done a bunch of different things, at least a few times when I've spoken with him on the phone. But I've at least respected, him to the point where I'm not like, attacking him or going after them. So, the fact that they're doing this now just means that either A, the views are down, or B, there's actually something bigger on the horizon.
Yeah, dude. I ask myself that too, and here's my deal. I don't know if people out there that watch my shows and your shows is some of them are probably saying, "Oh, these guys are trying to start drama with Goodman and Michaels so that the audience will sub." I am not about that shit, dude. I'm too busy. I got too much to do to worry about starting drama. I've got, a lot of projects I'm working on. You do too. Now, you've got a freaking good job, and you don't need to be messing that up, having people, dramify what you're doing. So, like, my deal is if you messaged Michaels and the other guy and said, like, please stop talking about me, leave me alone, go do your own thing, like, would they do it? Like, because listen, I'm all about them.
They would. They wouldn't do it.
Well, I'm about them criticizing. I'm about them, like, bringing up a clip you play and saying their thoughts. Just like I did with Quinn. I'm all about that all day long, because I would hope that, like, Quinn would hear my criticism when I played it and see what my audience is saying and be like, okay, you know what? Maybe it was wrong for me to tell my audience in the camera to sell everything they own and send it to me, Like, that's the thing. Just like when I criticized Sather the other day, it's like I would hope that Sather would be like, oh shit, you know what? The White House being asked about QAnon is the equivalent of Donald Trump being asked about QAnon. Like, all these points I'm making and the criticism I'm giving out, I would honestly love to have people try to at least validate the fact that the point is a good point and that there are thousands of people that agree with the point. Anyway, what I want to do is come to a conclusion,
You didn't see the video, or you didn't see the AMA from Sean Spicer where somebody point blank said, hey, is QAnon legit?
Yeah.
Sean Spicer was like resounding just
no. And here's the deal. A lot of the Q guys now are devaluing Spicer to get around the fact that he said it. It's like, even when they said if representatives from the White House came up against and denounced Q, then we would agree with UNIRach and everything. But the White House is denouncing Q. Spicer did. Now, why would they denounce Spicer knowing that he had that high-level position? What do you think?
Oh, dude, I don't know why they would do that. Oh, geez, hold on a second. I just